Netherlands, a European country slightly larger than Switzerland. Popularly known for its tulip fields, windmills, cheese, and bicycles, it stands out for its innovation and prosperity, being one of the most prosperous nations in the world. Bordered by Germany, Belgium, and the North Sea, it is home to 17 million people, enjoying a high quality of life. With liberal social policies, it is a European tourist leader, especially due to the famous coffee shops in Amsterdam. Moreover, the Netherlands stands out as the second largest food producer, leading in food and technology innovation. Its advanced practices in cultivation, processing, and distribution could offer solutions to global challenges. Another relevant point is its role as the main supplier of lithography systems for semiconductor chips, even yielding to pressure from the United States and allies to restrict exports to China. This action could represent a blockade to China's ability to acquire crucial equipment for high-tech chip production. But how did the Netherlands achieve this status in food production? How does it plan to use this advantage to become one of the richest nations in the world? And what is the Dutch strategy for applying its advanced technology in different sectors? Well, stick with me in this video, and you'll understand everything. You know, right? Get that popcorn ready, hit the like button, and let's get into it. Currently, the planet is home to over 8 billion people, with projections to reach 9.7 billion by 2050. According to the World Wildlife Fund, the need to produce food in the next 30 years exceeds the production of the last 8,000 years combined. However, it's not just about increasing production. It is crucial to do it sustainably, healthily, and equitably, and that's where the Netherlands shines. Although a small country, the Netherlands plays a significant role in global food production, annually exporting over 100 billion euros in agricultural products. Besides feeding its population, it contributes to meeting the food needs of millions worldwide. The secret to this success is rooted in its history, geography, culture, and innovative capacity. The Netherlands has an agricultural and commercial tradition dating back to the Middle Ages. The Dutch historically cultivated and raised animals in fertile lands and watercourses, exporting their products globally, especially during the golden age of the 17th century. The peculiar geography, predominantly flat and low, with half of the territory below sea level, provides ample water and soil availability for irrigation and drainage. The mild climate of the country allows year-round cultivation, and its strategic location as the gateway to Europe, coupled with expertise in maritime transportation, has propelled its economic success. However, the crucial factor that turned it into a food powerhouse is its culture of innovation and collaboration. The Dutch have a receptive mindset to new ideas and technologies to enhance the food system. They invest significantly in research, development, education, training, infrastructure, and public-private partnerships. This approach has resulted in a collaborative network involving farmers, scientists, engineers, entrepreneurs, policymakers, and consumers who work together to create advanced and efficient solutions in food production and distribution. In the face of the global challenge of feeding a growing population with limited resources, the Netherlands stands out for innovation in vertical farming. With global food demand projected to increase by 70% by 2050, while arable land decreases by 20%, Dutch innovations provide a response to this problem, aiming to produce more food with less space, water, energy, and inputs. Vertical farming involves growing plants in layers within enclosed environments, using artificial lighting and climate control instead of relying on natural sunlight and soil. Vertical farms use LED lights and methods such as hydroponics or aeroponics to create ideal growing conditions. This enables year-round cultivation regardless of the climate. The Netherlands is a leader in vertical farming, with several farms producing lettuce, herbs, strawberries, and mushrooms. For instance, PlantLab operates vertical farms in urban areas like Amsterdam and Rotterdam, claiming they can produce up to 200 times more food per square meter than conventional farms. Philips, known for electronics and lighting, has also invested in vertical farming, using LED lights to grow lettuce in enclosed environments. The lights can be adjusted to optimize plant growth and quality, while sensors monitor conditions such as temperature, humidity, and CO2 levels. Vertical farming brings benefits such as space, water, and energy savings, reduced pesticide use, and increased yield and quality. For example, Plant Lab states that its farms use 95% less water and 90% less energy than traditional farms. Despite being a major exporter of dairy and meat products, the Netherlands faces criticism for its production methods and environmental impacts. In 2022, the country emitted 118 megatons of nitrogen oxides, representing an 8% reduction from 2019. The government has sought to address these issues by encouraging more sustainable farming practices and reducing the use of antibiotics in animals. However, a conflict arose due to the conservative government coalition's promise to reduce nitrogen emissions by 50% by 2030. This sparked protests among farmers who claim that the proposed measures would harm their livelihoods, raising broader questions about the balance between economic growth and environmental sustainability in the Netherlands. In addition to being a food powerhouse, the Netherlands is a global food partner, driven by its strategic location and access to the port of Rotterdam, the largest deep-sea port in Europe and one of the largest in the world. This port connects the Netherlands to important food-producing regions such as North and South America and the Black Sea region, as well as major markets like the United States, the United Kingdom, and China. However, the majority of Dutch food exports are destined for European countries, with a notable emphasis on Germany, which accounted for 24% of Dutch agricultural exports in 2022. The Port of Rotterdam recorded a total export value of €122 billion in 2022, a 17% increase compared to 2021. All of this demonstrates how much the country has invested in research and technology, becoming a leading producer of machinery for the semiconductor industry. To understand the semiconductor industry in the Netherlands, we need to go back to 1984 when a partnership between ASM International and Philips was established. ASML primarily focuses on the global semiconductor industry, developing advanced technology for the production of these components. Semiconductors are essential in electronic products, from mobile phones to military weapons. The demand for semiconductors will continue to increase, and this industry will be more valuable than gold in the future. A nation's wealth will be calculated based on this sector. The semiconductor production chain involves 5 countries. Initially, the Netherlands manufactures machines for chip production. In the United States, software development for operating these chips takes place. In South Korea and Japan, the chips are manufactured and assembled, and finally, in Taiwan, these chips are installed in devices and exported globally. ASML not only serves as a supplier but also plays an innovative role in photolithography, which involves creating patterns on silicon through light. The company has developed a technology called extreme ultraviolet lithography, enabling the manufacturing of chips as small as 3 nanometers, roughly the size of a DNA strand. This technology gives ASML a significant advantage over its competitors, who are considerably behind in chip manufacturing capabilities. The role played by ASML in the global chip industry has made it a key player in the ongoing rivalry between the United States and China, both competing for technological and economic supremacy. The United States seeks to restrict China's access to ASML machines, concerned about the potential use by China for advantages in areas such as artificial intelligence, military technology, and productivity. The United States has pressured the Netherlands to limit the export of EUV machines to China, even considering the strong trade ties between the Dutch and the Chinese. The Netherlands succumbed to global pressures and began exporting to China in limited quantities. On the other hand, China has been striving to develop its chip manufacturing technology but still faces challenges in reaching the level of ASML. China criticized the actions of the United States, accusing them of hegemony and violating market rules, disrupting the orders of international trade. ASML's prominent position in the chip industry has also attracted the attention of other countries and companies seeking to leverage its technology and knowledge. In light of this, the Netherlands quietly emerges as a power on the global stage, standing out for innovative approaches, strategic collaborations, and a strong commitment to sustainability. The country is on a path to become one of the richest and most influential nations in the world, serving as an example of how a small nation can have a massive impact on the global stage. Also, check out the video on Germany and discover the major issues impacting the country. As always, thank you very much for watching.